Hi, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Health by Am, the podcast with me, Mathilde. And I hope that you are well and having a great summer so far. And I am so happy summer is finally here. And I am gonna try to slow down a little this season. And I will actually be taking a little summer break now during July and August. I will use the time to rest a little bit, but also get some inspiration and prepare some nice episodes for you starting in late August or early September, so after summer. And it's just because I want to keep the quality of the episodes really good and not release something just because. So I just feel that I need to get some more inspiration and plan ahead a little in order to give you as good episodes as possible. That being said, if you have any requests, please let me know, as I would really love to know more about you and what you want to hear. Just send me a DM on Instagram at healthbym and let me know if you want me to cover any specific topics, if you have any questions and so on. I would really love to hear what you want me to talk about this fall when I'm back. So in this episode, I just want to share a few tips and also talk about some books that I can recommend reading this summer, so that I will leave you on this little break with some inspiration and maybe some good books to read instead of listening to this podcast now. And I have also included a repost of the Healthy Traveling episode from last year, since we are releasing a fun little travel series on the retreat. And I will release lots of new content this summer. We will give you some Pilates classes and meditations that are perfect to do when traveling, also some new recipes, and a big update to the hypnosis section is coming soon too. So definitely make sure to sign up so you can access all of that if you're interested. You can always choose between the monthly, the 6 months membership, or the full year. And as you might know, my podcast listeners get a special deal. So if you use the code podcast, you get 20% off any membership that you want to try. So either the monthly, 6 months, or the yearly membership, you get 20% off with the code podcast. So it's perfect if you want to try something this summer to keep up with your healthy routines, maybe create some own retreats with your friends. So yeah, check it out and stay tuned for the launch. I believe it's actually coming very, very soon, like next week. So check out the new classes. I filmed a bunch and created lots of content in Mexico, so that is coming up soon for you to enjoy. So, okay, before we go on to the healthy traveling part, I just wanted to share a few tips with you. And the first one is to read a little bit more this summer, which is something I'm going to do. And I am now deep diving into Joe Dispenza's books, which I can highly recommend if you haven't read them yet. And I just think summer is such a great time to just read more because you can do it outside. I mean, it's much easier when you're laying in the sun, for example, to lay there with a book instead of your phone. So I just find summer such a great time to go through the books that you love, your old favorites, but also to get the new ones that you're interested in. And some books that I usually come back to each summer, I kind of have a summer tradition to read Marianne Williamson's books, A Return to Love and The Law of Divine Compensation. I really think they're so good, so I can recommend those if you haven't read them yet. And then you have Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life, and James Clear, Atomic Habits. Those are two favorites I tend to come back to over and over again. And yeah, I think they're nice books to read during the summer because they really give you a lot of motivation and inspiration. And yeah, they're just really good. And then there are 3 books that I'm curious to read next, which I haven't read yet. And they are called The Mind-Gut Connection, and then Eat to Beat Disease, and then Calm Your Inflammation. And I have found them on Amazon if you're interested in checking them out as well. So yeah, just one little reminder to read a little bit this summer. It's so nice. It's one of those things that when you start doing it, you're just like, oh wow, why don't I do this more often? It's so nice. And I think summer is the perfect time for it. And then moreover, something I think I want to do this summer is to get one of those portable mixers. You know, those with like an USB charger. They're quite small. And I mean, I often try different smoothies and juice bars when I am traveling, but if I'm going somewhere quite remote, or if I know that there aren't going to be any cafes or juice bars that are going to sell any healthy smoothies and juices, I think it could be nice to bring something to use that would easily get me a juice or a smoothie. And I've seen a few of these portable mixers on Amazon, and yeah, I really think I'm gonna get one for the summer. I just think it's such a great thing to bring, because smoothies are so great. I love to have one in the morning or just as a afternoon meal. I think smoothies really help you to keep your diet really healthy and nourishing, even when you're traveling, because you get so many nutrients in one meal. So I just think it's the perfect thing to eat because, yeah, it's such a healthy meal. So I am really curious to check out those portable mixers and think they could really be a game changer for routines. And if I find a good one, I can definitely share a link on Instagram if you're interested. And if you have any tips, please let me know because, yeah, I think this could be a fun thing to get for the summer. And then lastly, another tip I just want to share is to watch astro readings on YouTube. And I'm not sure if I've talked about this here before. Maybe I only mentioned it in my newsletter, but anyway, I have become so obsessed with astro readings on YouTube. And there is especially one woman called Lily Light Tarot, which is amazing. I mean, it's so fun to watch, and what she basically does is that she does these readings for each sign, and then it's either for a week or a month, or it could be a longer period of time too, like 3 months as well. And her readings are so accurate, and friends of mine watch them too, and they are so spot on for everyone. So it's not just my sign, Aries. So yeah, definitely check out Lily Light Tarot on YouTube if you want a fun activity to do a rainy day this summer. It's really so cozy and so fun. So I can highly recommend her channel on YouTube. These were the tips I had for this episode, but continue to listen if you want to hear the healthy traveling episode and the tips I shared there from last summer. And like I mentioned, we are releasing a series of travel workouts and meditations very soon on the retreat. So I just wanted to include this little repost to get you in the right mood and to give you some motivation to stay consistent with your routines over summer. So brand new episodes of the podcast will be back sometime in late August or early September. So have a wonderful summer and take care of yourselves. And here comes the healthy traveling part. Since it is summer and many of us travel or at least try to take some time off and have a little bit of a vacation, I just wanted to talk about healthy traveling this week. So how to stay healthy when on vacation, what to pack, what routines to continue with when you're away, and so on. And I love to travel. It's a big passion of mine, and I've been traveling a lot over the past few years, especially since I've been working as a freelance travel writer apart from my work within health and wellness. And while I often hear people talk about how hard it is to keep up with their wellness routines, such as healthy eating habits, regular exercise, and so on when on vacation, I actually think that when we travel, that is the perfect time to be healthy. When we change environment, it is actually very often easier to also start a new habit, and we often have more free time when we are on vacation, which can make it easier to prioritize wellness. And I mean, we also eat the things we do and stick to our workouts and healthy routines because they make us feel good. So why should we stop when we travel? That is actually the time when we want to feel our best. So therefore, I just wanted to record this episode and share some tips around traveling, packing, and how to stay healthy when on vacation. So let's dive right into it and talk a little bit about packing and working out during your travel and vacation. And I always pack workout clothes. I would never travel without them since I feel like you never know if there will be a nice gym, maybe a yoga class or a Pilates studio you want to try out. I love to try new classes and workouts when I go to a new place. And I think it's a really fun way to experience new teachers and just see how different classes are when you travel. So I can really recommend doing that. And I often look up studios before I go so I know what to book if I want to try something when I arrive. And then in addition, I like to bring comfortable shoes like running sneakers so I can go on a run or a walk. I think that is such a great way to explore a new place, and I love to start the morning with a run, and especially when on vacation, actually. And then when it comes to workout props, I pretty much always bring resistance bands and a yoga towel. And those are the best props, in my opinion, to travel with as they weigh pretty much nothing, but still really add a lot to your workouts. And there are many different and easy ways to use the resistance bands that really adds that extra burn to your workouts. And you can use it for both your lower body and your abs and even your arms, actually. And then a yoga towel is also great to bring if you want a mat, but something much lighter to travel with. And I prefer to put my own towel on top of another yoga mat if I'm visiting a studio and get to borrow a mat. And I mean, if you need inspiration and any exercises and tips for your workouts, you can always check out my membership platform, The Retreat, where I have several classes with resistance bands and I mean, of course, your own body weight as well. And I really recommend you to have an online workout platform if you travel a lot, because it makes it so much easier and just more accessible to just do a class whenever and wherever. And then when it comes to weights, I don't really like to add any extra weight to my already often quite full luggage. So I try to look for other things that can function as weights. So, for example, maybe you have water bottles, you have books, or something else you find in the hotel room that you can use if you want weights when you work out, if you don't have a proper gym, of course, where you go and stay. In addition, you can always work out with a towel. I think that's great, and you can use it for arms and abs, holding on to it, and really, yeah, it's a very underrated prop when it comes to working out. So you can always use that and be creative when you are trying to find ways to work out on vacation. So that was a little bit about how I try to squeeze in some exercises when I'm traveling and what I bring so I can continue with my workout routine when I'm away. And in addition to these props and tools for my workouts, I also like to bring other things to keep up with my wellness routines. And for example, I like to bring a notebook and a journal. And my favorite journal is the 5-minute journal from the brand called Intelligent Change. And I am an ambassador for this brand, and I will talk a little bit more about it, and especially about this incredible journal a little later. And yeah, speaking of journals and notebooks, I also love to bring at least one book to read. I have to admit, though, that I don't always prioritize to read when I'm traveling, but at least I like to have the option, so I usually bring at least one. And then I always pack a swimsuit and a bikini if there will be a spa or opportunity to swim in a pool or in the sea. I like to bring a little kit of essential oils, a travel-sized tarot or oracle card deck, and some crystals. And I usually carry these in a little pouch, and I use them when I meditate. I sometimes use the oils as perfumes, and then I think it's fun to just keep up with my routine of picking a card each day. I often bring a Palo Santo stick to clear the energy and the air in the new hotel room. And something else that my dear friend Marlene, who is an essential oil expert, taught me is to bring a lemon essential oil that you can make hot lemon water with, even though you might not have fresh lemons. And I think this is such a great tip to just add 1 drop of lemon oil into water. And I use doTERRA's oils, and not a collaboration, but just my recommendation and what I use. Another favorite from doTERRA that I always bring, not just on travels, but also every day in my handbag, is the peppermint essential oil beadlets. And I think those are great alternatives to gums. And I always bring tea bags as well. I have lots of them everywhere in all my bags because I love tea. And yeah, that's great to have on the plane or if you go anywhere and want your cup of tea. And then another general tip, not so much around wellness, but something that I try to do in order to make my trip more enjoyable and fun is to always bring my nicest clothes when I'm traveling. I want to look and feel my best when I'm on vacation, and I love to dress up in my favorite outfits. I really think that makes such a difference to your overall feeling and energy. And last but not least, when it comes to packing, a great tip, especially if you pack your favorite belongings, make sure to buy AirTags for every bag. This is such a great invention. I can't recommend this enough. And it makes it so easy to know where all your stuff is. And for those of you who don't know, an AirTag is an Apple product and it is basically a little chip. It almost looks like a white little coin, and you can put it in your bags, your wallet, on your keys. I know some people use it for their dogs and just add one AirTag to their collar. And you can then track where your AirTags are when you pull up, I think it's an app or even it's an automatic thing in your iPhone. And this is so smart and amazing if you're traveling with checked-in luggage and want to make sure that your luggage doesn't get lost. So yeah, again, this is not a collaboration, but just a tip and something I can highly recommend you to purchase if you haven't yet. When I'm on vacation, I love to bring travel sizes of not just my beauty products, but my wellness essentials as well. I love to bring a little bag with vitamins, bars, and other favorite health products. And luckily enough, one of my all-time favorite health brands, Sakara, has a few of their best-selling products in travel sizes as well. I am a proud ambassador of Sakara and I can't recommend this brand enough. And one of my favorite products is their water drops. I think it can be hard to remember to drink enough water sometimes, especially when you are traveling and are out and about, walking around in the city or spending time on the beach. But these water drops really makes it more fun and nutritious to drink water. And Sakara has two different kinds of water drops. One for beauty with naturally occurring ionic trace minerals that help support collagen and make the skin glow. And then they have their detox drops, which is an antioxidant-rich blend of chlorophyll that is harvested from white mulberry leaf for maximum healing benefits, including helping the body to get rid of toxins. And with the code HealthByMSakara, you get 20% off your first order if you're a new customer to Sakara. And I have provided a link as well as the code in this episode's show notes. So just use them if you want to try these water drops or any other products like the granolas, healthy bars, teas, or anything else from Sakara. And like I said, I am a very proud Sakara ambassador and I am so happy to be able to offer this amazing code with you. And I also want to mention that you will be able to support Health by M and this podcast if you shop, since I earn commissions as well if you use the code. So thank you so much for your support and help with that. And another must for me when traveling is to bring a journal, and I use journaling as a tool to reflect on my thoughts and feelings, to keep a gratitude practice, as well as to structure and plan my life. And my favorite journal that I've been using for years is the 5-minute journal from Intelligent Change. And I love it because it is so easy and effective to use. You just spend a few minutes in the morning and then in the evening to write down a few sentences about what you're grateful for, what will make this day a good day, a few good things that happened today, and so on. And I think it is the perfect journal if you want to start to incorporate journaling into your daily wellness routine, or if you want something easy and simple so that you can be consistent with this practice, even if you're traveling. And Intelligent Change has other great journals, notebooks, and planners as well. I have them all and I love them. Not only do they look really beautiful, but they are also perfect gifts, really easy to use and affordable. And they also ship worldwide, which is amazing. And with the code Health by M, you get 10% off your order from them. So just use the code Health by M in one word and make sure to try their amazing journals if you're interested in either starting or deepening your journaling practice today. And using the code when you shop anything from intelligentchange.com will also support Health by M and this podcast, as I earn commission whenever someone uses this code Health by M. So I hope you like these tips and discounts. And now back to the episode. Okay, so when it comes to traveling and especially airplanes, if I'm going on an airplane, I always bring lots of healthy snacks with me. I want to make sure that I have enough healthy options to eat so I don't get hungry. And I also think it makes the travel much more fun if I have something delicious to look forward to and snack on. I also try to drink lots of water before I go on an airplane, since I notice that my skin gets really dry otherwise. And then when it comes to food on vacation, I think it is important to, of course, eat whatever you want when you're on vacation, like always. But I also said in the beginning that we do want to feel our best when we are traveling. And I honestly prefer to eat healthy all the time because I like it and it makes me feel very good. And when I'm traveling, I often think it is extra important to eat healthy so I feel well and energized so I can make the most out of the trip. And I think that can be useful and good to think about. That, of course, indulge as much as you want to, but remember that if you eat food that is very different from what you normally eat at home, your stomach, your energy level, and overall health might not feel as great. So therefore, I often bring some superfood powders and supplements. I like to bring matcha if I'm on a longer vacation, and if I'm somewhere I can't easily get a good matcha, I bring bars and healthy snacks. I try to eat lots of greens, berries, and fruits when I'm away and eating out at restaurants. And I make sure to at least get enough vegetables and nutrients because I notice a big difference in my energy if I don't. And I think it's very fun to look up local healthy cafes and restaurants. I make that a part of my travel planning. And I just love to visit juice bars and try local healthy places. So that's another tip, to just check that out before you go. So these were just some tips when it comes to healthy traveling and what I think of when I go on vacation and want to continue with my wellness routines. But like always, do what works for you. But I just wanted to share what I do, and hopefully you got something out of this and maybe some tips that you can use. And this summer, I will focus a little extra on healthy traveling and relaxation here on the podcast so that you can easily keep up with your healthy routines when you're on vacation and get access to some guided hypnosis audios and meditation practices for free. So next week will be a hypnosis, and then the following week will be a healthy city guide about one of my favorite places in the world. So make sure to keep listening to the podcast this summer if you want to find out more. And I'm also sharing some extra classes and workouts on the retreat now in order for all members to get new and more workouts each week. So if you're part of the Health by M family and the retreat, you will have workouts, meditations, and healthy travel tips coming your way these upcoming weeks. So I hope that you liked this episode, and please send me your feedback and leave a review or rating on iTunes. And if you know anyone else who's traveling this summer and wants to keep up with their healthy routines, please share this episode with that person. And as I said, stay tuned for new meditations and more healthy travel tips and city guides here on the podcast this summer. Have a great rest of your day and take care.